does only have 3 black sources, so right now she cannot play 2 downfalls at once. Right now it looks like she's thinking of whether or not to play the Elspeth or to go ahead and downfall the Chief of the Foundry. And if she downfalls the Chief of the Foundry, she will still take 1 from the token, but she'll be able to block stuff. Joe is... I need to mute my sounds. So Joe's going to get in the red zone with everybody, except for the Ornithopter. That's a bit bizarre for me. I thought the Ornithopter was a 1. I mean, he knows that there's a downfall, so maybe there is actually no point. Yeah, maybe Joe was right on that, to not attack with the Ornithopter. And he's going to deal 1 with the Thopter, and the Thopter Engineer, I guess, lives. I guess it has 3 toughness. I was actually unaware. Another hero's downfall. Joe cannot believe it. That one, though, might not get cast. She might... once again, you could probably plus the Nissa just to draw a downfall. There's nothing bad with that at all. But I think you want to play the Nissa, or the Elspeth. Yeah, she's going to make a token, actually. And I think she's going to look for a Shea World Awakened, but I don't think we have one in that stack at the moment. So she's going to be looking for nothing because it's just not even there. I think she's just looking for a creature that has similar power toughness now. Yeah, there's a bunch of goblins. That's exactly what you don't want. Yeah, wolf. Whatever. Yeah, well, we haven't updated the tokens in the back for Magic Origins yet. That's the keyword, yet. So next week we'll have all the Magic Origin tokens, and I'll probably work on that tomorrow, actually. Something I can do. We'll pull out all the tokens that we need. Write it on my hand so I don't forget. Corsair Krufix is going to get in there for 2, knocking Joe down to 18. And Christina still has Downfall in her hand, Elspeth, and she does not play the Elspeth. Ashea, World Awakened, is now in play. For those of you who don't know, Nissa has a -2 ability, and the -2 is put a legendary creature token into play named Ashea, and that's it. The +1 ability is look at the top card of your deck. If it's a non-land card, put it in your hand. If it's a land card, put it into the battlefield. So that's pretty cool. Thopter's going to get in there. Christina's thinking. She's just going to take it. I think at the end of turn she can downfall what she wants. So Christina's going to go down to 4. The score is Christina 4, Joe 20. And Joe is on Blue-Red Artifacts. Christina is on Abzan. And right now, Joe casts Days Undoing. Well, that's probably not what Christina wants to see. So she's going to go ahead and respond with a downfall, as this is the time that she'll be able to. She's going to downfall the Thopter. And we're going to see a Days Undoing. This is awesome. For those of you who do not know, Days Undoing is 2 and a blue. Both players shuffle their graveyards and decks and their hands together. They each draw 7 cards, and then if this card was cast as a sorcery, in your turn. So Joe will draw 7 and then end his turn immediately, but he'll have a handful of 7, and he's at a comfy 17 life, which I have not marked. I meant to, but I did not. He did have to eat 1 from the Shivan Reef and a Corsair of Krufix hit. But assuming that this resolves, easy peasy, Joe will end his turn immediately, and Christina will go into her turn at 4 life. So right now, Joe is just looking for a Shrapnel Blast. He gets Shrapnel Blast, Dark Steel, Mountain, and if he has not played a land, that is game. Oh, but he can't play a land. Yeah. So he does have the Shrapnel Blast, because he can't do anything else. So right now, if Christina doesn't gain a bunch of life, she is not going to be able to stay in this game. And she does have a Seed Rhino. So she's going to gain 1 up to 5. Rhino can put her to 8. Let's see. Unless he has a flying creature. Oh, excuse me. Unless he has a flying creature, she's fine. I think that was a Siege Rhino anyways. Oh, I haven't marked it on the screen. The life total on the table is correct. I marked it on my paper, and yeah, I haven't marked it on the screen yet. But Christina's at 5 now. To Joe's 17. Thanks everybody who's watching. We're streaming from Hometown Hobbies in Huntington, West Virginia on 4th Avenue. I am currently streaming from Rare Drops. It was the awesome retro video game store located next door. They let us stream from their storage closet. That way the players can't hear me while I'm doing this. It's pretty freaking awesome, and I appreciate you so much, Rare Drops. Thank you so much. Christina's going to get in there with a Shea. And I think that's going to be fine, right? Oh, Rhino came down. So Christina goes up to 8. Joe goes down to 14. He's going to block with the Ornithopter, untap and draw. Insole Artifact. Doesn't give a flying. If he had the Ornithopter, he had game. He would have been able to insole the Ornithopter, attack, and then Shrapnel Blast it away. So, we'll see Insole Artifact, animate a Darksteel Citadel, knocking Joe down to 13 life. Because he has to eat one from the Shivan Reef damage. See if Christina takes the 5. This is, I think, a snap block with a Courser, but I think she might. Oh, she just took the 5. Well, that is certainly lethal. Shrapnel Blast is going to come down, and even with the double life game from Courser, you still have to crack the fetch down to 2. You go up to 4, and that is all she wrote. I'm surprised she didn't block with a Siege Rhino or a Courser. It was an Alpha Strike on the next turn, but you have to remember about the Shrapnel Blasts, as they will get you. At least the deck does not play Scuttling Doom Engine anymore. If so, that would have been 11 points of damage, but it wasn't, so there's no point to even theorize about that. We're going to reset the life totals to 20 here, as Joe takes the first one with a very timely Days Undoing to refill his Grip of 7, and then into Shrapnel Blast. Excuse me. Both players going to the board. Christina's looking at Duress. Duress is an interesting card. Of course, it doesn't hit the creatures, but it does hit all of the Shrapnel Blasts, the Lightning Strikes that he might play, the Insole Artifact. If he plays Military Intelligence, it hits that. I don't know if he does. And Joe is probably siding in maybe Negate, as Negate is a pretty good card. And I think Christina is going to go ask a question about how a card interaction works, or she's possibly getting a token or something. So it looks like the players are taking a brief intermission. As Christina leaves the table, she might have to use the restroom. There's a lot of things. So in the meantime, I'm going to pull up some of the deck lists from the Pro Tour this past weekend that I don't really think I've heard a lot of people talk about. Which is weird, because usually as soon as a Pro Tour happens, that's all that they talk about at the card shop. But this time it's a little different. This time they haven't really discussed it a ton. Like, of course, Blue-Red Thopters has been discussed quite a bit. And Abzan's always been a regular. And then the Abbott Red deck has been talked about. But it's not really an in-depth discussion. And I gotta say, the first place winner, I believe it was Joel Larson. I think he's the one who played the Abbots. And there's the other card. It's the new card from Magic Origins. It deals 4 for 1 red. Exquisite Fireblood, Explosive Firecraft, something like that. He also made that card. Both of those cards are now $10 a piece. So if you have an Abbot of Carol Keep or an Exquisite Fireblood, Firecraft, whatever it is, those are $10 a piece now, thanks to Joel Larson for winning Pro Tour Vancouver. So I'm going to look up these deck lists and go over them really quick with you. Load it. Alright, so it looks like in first place it was Joel Larson playing Mono Red, and then in second we had Blue-Red Thopters, courtesy of Mike Segrist. And the Blue-Red Thopters list, I think it's a little bit different than how Joe has a build. He does play the Chief of the Foundries, Hangerback Walkers, Ornithopters. He plays Phyrexian Revoker and Whirler Rogue. Whirler Rogue, for those of you who do not know, he is 2 blue for a 2/2. When he enters the battlefield, put 2... Actually, it is a she, I am so sorry. When she enters the battlefield, put 2 1/1 Thopter artifact creatures with flying onto the battlefield. You can tap 2 untapped artifacts you control to give target creature unblockable. So that's a pretty good card. You get to tap your useless things like Ghost, Fireblade. It doesn't matter if that card's tapped. Or you can get rid of Ornithopter, Darksteel Citadel, any Thopter token, Springleaf Drum. There's a lot of things you can tap just to give something unblockable, like a Hangerback Walker, especially if it has a decent amount of counters on it. In third place, we had Green-Red Devotion, and that is just the usual green Devotion deck, splashing red for Dragon Lord Atarka Xenagos, and he, Paul Jackson, did not play any Crater's Claws, and that was a card that used to see play as a 1-of, maybe a 2-of, but it does not anymore. In fourth place, we go down to Matt Sperling. Congratulations, Matt Sperling. He played Abzan Control with 3 Den Protectors, which I like. I like a lot. Den Protector is a pretty awesome Magic card. It's similar, not the same. It's similar to Eternal Witness. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it is incredibly worse. You know, the reason that would be better is because it gets the +1/+1 counter. Eternal Witness is definitely better overall. But yeah, he plays some Den Protectors, you know, the 4 Rhinos, 4 Coursers, 3 of the Nissa, 1 Tassiger. It's pretty awesome the Tassiger is seeing play and not just the control decks. I mean, it hasn't been that way in Modern, but in Standard I felt like it was for a little bit. Planeswalkers, Matt played Elspeth Sanugan, and he played a couple Languish. That was the other card from Origins that saw play in his deck, other than Caves of Koilos, but that was already in. And it looks like they're going to 7, and we will see Christina be on the play. She has 4 lands. Might be 4 lands, Nissa, Rhino, Abzan Charm? Or Courser, it's one of the 2. Maybe that's a Crux of Fate. Maybe I was just way off. So it's going to be a Sandstep Citadel, followed by a Darksteel Citadel, into an Ornithopter. Joe has a decent hand. It looks like he has an island this time, and an Onsol artifact, so he won't lose any life. Thanks to everybody watching. We're streaming from Hometown Hobbies in Huntington, West Virginia. We're on 4th Avenue, part of Nerd Row, as I like to call it. It's a pretty awesome 3 to 4 shop combo, depending on what you want to say. The 4th shop I'm going to say first. It is the pizza place, Slice Pizza. It's delicious. We have Slice Pizza, then Rare Drops, which is, of course, the retro video game store. So what's not to love here? Christina goes down to 15 from the attack from the Ornithopter, and Abzan Charm takes it out of the way before he has the chance to shrapnel blast it away. So then we have Pizza, Rare Drops, the video game place, Hometown Hobbies, the card shop, and then Purple Earth Comics, the comic shop. It's pretty awesome. And Thopter Engineer is going to come down, put a Thopter into play, and it's going to attack 1 at her, put her down to 14 life. So yeah, if you're ever in the area, come on down and play in our tournaments. If you play in our FNMs and have one of our t-shirts, they're only $15 to buy, and it's usually $10 to play an FNM. If you wear one of our t-shirts to our FNMs, you get to play for free. And we still, you know, put the prize in as if you paid. So right now, I think everyone except for maybe 2 people are wearing their t-shirts next door. So, it looks like a bunch of Hometown Hobbies people, but most of them play for free, and most of them will still get the store credit as if there was, cash involved. So it doesn't, it's pretty awesome that, you're able to play for free and possibly cash in for free. Well, it's not really free. It's a $15 investment, but I think that that's a pretty fair investment. You get a shirt, you're going to wear the shirt, not necessarily just here. You might wear it somewhere else. You never know. It could be a sleeping shirt. It could just be a thing that sits in a closet. You put it up on your wall. Hometown Hobby shirts, they're rare. Only in Huntington, West Virginia can you find them. So Joe's going to play his 4th land. It's going to be an island. He's looking at his grip of 2 Piankir Nalar, a Roast, and maybe a Thopter Spy Network. I actually can't tell exactly what that is, as I think you have to... it's a Hangerback Walker. I think you have to roast the Courser here, unless you're playing the Hangerback on 2. but I think the roast is way better. Granted, Christina could follow it up with